John says Heather's getting kind of old.
She used to be my girlfriend, now she's like my mother.
I'm sorry, I'm growing up.
But her blind date
Note the boobs, they're nice, I'm happy.
saw her new attitude.
I saw the I want to have sex side of Heather.
Meanwhile, John dated a gifted woman.
She took me to this lingerie shop.
I got him some handcuffs. Oh, that's so classy.
Now, will these two grow old together?
Do you think John's going to put those to good use?
To good use? No.
Or will they have a change of heart?
Change of heart, and let's meet our couple. Heather and John, they met a year ago at a graduation party, and after a 3.5-hour phone conversation, they were inseparable until Heather left for college, that is. Now Heather has returned home, and both say that they are fighting constantly. As you're about to see, one of the problems John has is Heather's constant nitpicking, and he means literally. So here's a clip from their first change of heart interview.
On the way over here, I had to yell at her because I guess I have an imperfection right here that she was picking at. And I'm like driving. Let me get at that thing.
She gets like pissed off.
Of
like,
course,
like...
if someone was always picking at you, wouldn't you? It's like.
There you go. Please welcome John Amato and Heather Lowy. Welcome to Change of Heart. Now, John, Heather's picking problem goes far beyond the scratching your skin. I mean, just how bad is it?
She used to be my girlfriend, now she's like my mother. Like, seriously? She orders me around, she tells me what to do, she tells me where to go, who I can hang out with, and the tone in her voice when she does so. No, wait. You hang out with him, you're so lame. Oh, God, you're so lame. So lame.
So she's pick.
Yeah,
and now, Heather, do you have to feel like you got those mommy instincts and he can't handle himself?
Yeah, I mean, he's just really irresponsible, and like, you know, he always tells me that he needs that though. Like he says,
well,
oh, you know, I'm glad
I
you
never
helped
once
me out,
told you,
know?
oh yeah, I need you to complain if everything. I'm
Well,
like,
and
please
it's not
shut up.
complaining, it's
Just
more of
please,
like
just
to help
don't.
you out.
Just don't.
Now, Heather, what is it you notice about John? You know, that you went away to college, you come back, now you see him, the differences?
He's really self-centered. I mean, you know, he'll tell me, you know, I'll meet you in an hour, and then he'll go and he'll have to run an errand. You know, it'll be really quick. He'll come back 3 hours later and, you know, expect me to still be happy.
10 phone calls in between. 10 phone calls in between.
And then if
Where
we
are
fight,
you? What are you doing?
Wait,
Where are you? What are you
wait.
doing?
And then if, you know, we end up getting into an argument, he calls my house at all hours of the night, you know, upsets everyone that I live with.
Heather, what about, arguing and fighting, romance and sex life? How's that affected?
What is sex again?
Yeah,
I mean,
oh.
I'm just kind of...
I guess that answers it, doesn't it?
No.
Or romantic sex.
And the problem is what, though?
You know, he works all the time. He's really important, and you know, then he's too tired, and he's just, you know, he was.
I'm too tired. Okay, wait.
You
the
want to watch
last
the
couple
preview
of weeks.
channel for 2 hours.
Yeah,
and then,
I like to watch TV.
And then he eats, and then he goes to bed, and he's like, oh, well, what's wrong? You know, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I wanted to hang out with you, but.
Right. Now, I
That's
understand.
The thing. Hanging out is her complaining.
No,
though.
hold
Hanging
on.
out is like her telling me what's going on. Like.
But you got a problem there. Now, I understand another problem, though, is your friends. For the two of you, isn't that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, John, we asked your best friend Jake about Heather, and here's how he described Heather.
Heather's a ball and chain. She tracks him down, she shows up, she calls him constantly, fights with him in public. It's just really unbelievable.
That's not a good review. And John, do you agree with Jake?
Dude, my friends won't even hang out with me anymore. Like a couple nights ago.
That's because
no,
of
it's
you.
totally because Jake's like, oh, I'm not even gonna hang out with you because you're like
boring.
lame. No, you wanna go home at 1. I can't even like hang out. I can't do
I'm sorry,
anything.
I'm growing up.
Okay,
you know?
wait. I can't even talk to my friends when you're there. I can't even talk to my friends when you're over at my house.
Now, wait, John, let's get turnabout's fair play, Heather, because we asked your friend Amber what she thought about the situation. So let's take a listen.
John is such a jerk. Every time she goes out, she always has to be with him. And if she's not with him, John calls on the phone and he yells at her, and that really stresses Heather out. And it makes me upset because, you know, I want to have fun with her, and after he calls her, she's so upset she can't think about just having fun.
Okay. Not good, Dad. The reviews from the friends are terrible on both sides.
Right.
Her friends are butt ugly losers. My friends won't even hang out with her friends. They're like, they're
because
so
your friends
ugly.
Are so materialistic and artificial.
No.
You know?
Oh yeah, but
I'm
yours
sorry.
are like so almighty. Okay, first
They're
of
real
all,
friends.
you should just be with Amber. Amber right here. They like if they have a
She
phone
would make
conversation.
A better boyfriend, actually.
You guys act exactly.
They're
alike.
cheering that.
You guys should couple. You're like every time you guys talk, I can tell that you talk because you act exactly like her.
Oh.
Like,
All right, well, John, let me ask Heather a question because
Amber.
Amber obviously thinks you guys should probably not be together.
Right.
You guys have been together for quite some time, though. What keeps you together?
Just going back to the beginning, initially when we met, we clicked. I mean, it was awesome, you know, we talked for hours. Our first phone conversation, you know, we talked all night, you know, and we have the same morals, perspectives on life, and he can make me laugh a lot.
Good things.
You know?
And John, what are you hoping the show is actually going to do for the relationship?
Just, you know, I'd like to have a peaceful date without like arguing or like phone calls or like my friends. So I just wanted to see like how that would affect our relationship.
All right, we'll see how it all turns out. Now, coming up next, we're going to meet Heather's date.
We went out to a dance club, and I saw the I want to have sex side of Heather.
Oh, really? We're here with John and Heather. Now, after a year of dating, Heather says she's afraid that the spark is dying. So we set her up with Chris, a guy who's sure to ignite her fire. Please welcome Christopher Moss. All right, have a seat. Now, Heather, blind dates can be nerve-wracking. We all know that. So did you guys talk about anything to sort of put each other at ease right away?
Yeah, we talked a lot before we went out, and we kind of made fun of each other. I mean, of ourselves, you know, like he told me he was going to be all fat and gross.
Oh, that's nice.
But he is balding, actually, so I noticed that.
Easy.
And I told him I had like really ugly feet and this obnoxious voice, and so it took the edge off a lot.
Now, Heather, I understand that Chris dabbles in comedy a little bit, and could you tell that when the date started?
Are you a waiter?
Yeah, he was.
I was just wondering.
He was.
That's it. I'm gonna start slapping now.
There's the comedy.
He was pretty goofy, but which at first was.
No, he's still a waiter.
So anyway, so yeah, he was pretty goofy, and I was kind of at first. I was a little uneasy about it, and I didn't know how to take it. It was kind of not embarrassing, but kind of, you know, embarrassing in a little. It
Jim
could be
Carrey
annoying.
way.
Yeah.
Breaking the ice is what I was doing.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, well, Heather, you're with him. He's acting a little goofy. Do you ever show a serious side, though?
Yeah, we went to the beach, and I was laying out, and you know, he kind of like was rubbing oil on my back, whatever, and it was.
You wore your bathing suit?
Yeah, he had a really good touch, you know, like really good hands.
Did you feel it? It felt good? And besides rubbing oil, what else did he do?
And then he carried me into the water and we went swimming and stuff.
Good job. And Chris, what's going through your mind while all this is going on?
Oh gosh, with the lotion all over her body and the salt water, we started dancing underwater and stuff, and it was it was pretty sexy though. I was feeling a lot of chemistry there inside, and so was she.
All right, now John, here they were. Here they were at the beach. What's your opinion of her body in a bikini?
I'll just bite my tongue on that one.
Come on.
But, I mean,
seriously, no.
She never goes to the beach with me, which, you know.
You're always working and busy, you know, you're tired. You're tired.
Now let me ask Chris then, because you're the guy that's actually lathering up with lotion, dancing underwater. How did her body look to you?
Gosh, it was tight, and she has really soft skin. I was enjoying it tremendously.
Now, Chris, I understand that after the beach, this is actually after the beach, things took like a R-rated turn. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I was doing a comedy show that day, and I took her to the show, and I introduced her. I was like, hey, you know, I'm on the game show Change Your Heart. This is my blind date right here. Heather, stand up. Note the boobs. They're nice. I'm happy. And then we started, I want to do a segment about boobs, but it's too much for the show. So.
Yeah. And now, could you tell her if she was mad, or was she taking the joke in stride, or what?
Oh, she was laughing the most out of the whole audience. I could hear her, you know. And we took, I went out to dinner with her, you know. And that's where she started really getting into me. I could tell because she's staring at me during dinner, and we're feeding each other food and stuff. She was really starting to loosen up and, you know, kind of give me those.
Yeah, you can feel that vibe building at that point. Now, Heather, I understand that, you know, you were feeling pretty good at that point. You've forgiven him for sort of making you a scene at the comedy club. You guys took some pictures, and here they are at dinner, so let's take a look at those. Look how cozy. What were you thinking there, Heather?
You're denied.
Heather, what's going through your mind there?
Oh, no.
Well, you know, we had spent a lot of time together, you know, when those pictures were taken, so I had kind of seen other sides of him besides, you know, the joking side, and it was nice because it was really sincere, and I really appreciated that he could just be himself in front of people and let go. Whereas, like, when I'm out with John, you know, he's always so concerned about what we're doing, what he's wearing, and what everyone else is thinking, rather than just focusing on me and him, you know?
Very nice. All right, now, Chris, you got to show her your goofy side, then your romantic side. Did you get the chance to see another side of Heather?
Oh, yes. we went out to a dance club, and I saw the I want to have sex side of Heather, I should say.
Oh, really?
She knows how to dance. I pressed her up against the wall, you know, and we were like, you know, kind of getting into it and stuff. And I was like, wow, this girl knows what she's doing.
Right.
And I
taught her all that.
I was like, sure you did. And I was right there in her face. So close to kissing her, you know, but I wanted to play it cool. She seemed really eager to kiss me, you know.
So you could feel it. But Heather, what about after dancing then? Did you guys you go home or?
Yeah, well, I live at home, so we went home around 2:30.
And were your parents up waiting for you to come home?
Actually, yeah, my dad was awake, and I didn't expect him to be, and I introduced him. And they actually had a pretty good conversation because my dad doesn't really talk very much, and he really can't stand John at all.
Oh.
So
And Chris, what about Dad? Was he in the way of a good night kiss?
No. He went to bed pretty quick, and we sat on the couch and talked for a while, you know. And then she was saying something I couldn't remember, but I couldn't stand it anymore, so I just went ahead and kissed her.
Oh.
Did you take it?
And was Heather responsive?
She was very responsive. I really got the vibe that she was into me because she crawled up on my lap, so to speak.
Yeah.
I started caressing her body and stuff. And,
I think that's a pretty good sign.
I could tell by her moaning that she hadn't had sex, or at least.
Actually, I spent the night there before.
For quite a while.
I spent the night and I saw her that morning.
Sure you did, buddy.
I did. I spent the night.
John, are you a little surprised she really went for it?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Caught you off guard?
She was surprised too, actually. I could tell.
And Chris, how did you know? This sounds like a pretty passionate embrace. How did you cut it short?
Well, I promised her that we'd see each other again real soon, so.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see if that promise comes up. Coming up next, though, John's date brought a gift for him that she says he should only open when he's alone. But guess what? We're going to make him open it next, so stay tuned to find out what it is.
First, I got him some handcuffs.
We're here with John and Heather, and it's time to meet John's date. John says Heather is so bossy she acts like his mother, so we set him up with somebody who's only a boss in the bedroom. Please welcome Allison Namolas. Hi, Allison. How are you? Good to see you. You know John? All right, have a seat. And Allison, I see you brought John a little surprise, which we'll get to actually in just a couple of minutes here. First, though, John, I understand you actually had some concerns when you were talking to Allison on the telephone. Why is that?
She sounded kind of old on the telephone, and I never really dated someone that old, so
I was not that
I was like, he's kind of freaked me out.
Honey.
And Allison, what about you? Did you have any reservations of your own?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've never dated a guy younger than me. I'm used to dating older men.
So that's a little different.
A little different, but it was
Now,
good.
John, how about when you met? Did she look anything like an old hag that you thought she sounded like?
She looked great, and like I saw the tattoo on her foot, and it kind of, I thought it was sexy. You know,
so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Allison, what about this younger guy that you were hooking up with? He do anything to put you at ease?
Oh my God, when I came, he opened the door for me. There was roses waiting for me on the seat, and I just thought that was really sweet.
Very
Nice
nice.
of him.
he makes a good first impression. Yeah.
That's a lasting one.
Now, Allison, when Heather and John first met, they talked for hours on the phone. We know that. What about when you guys hooked up? Did you have a lot to talk about?
We talked so much. We talked about journalism. He owns a magazine, and I want to go into that. And he said when I finish with school, he would love to have me work for him. Yeah! I think we'd work very well together. Definitely.
Now, John, obviously both women enjoy your conversational abilities, but who would you prefer to chat with?
Well, Heather just complained, and if she's not complaining, she's dissing other people. Allison and I just had a good conversation. We just talked about what we like to do and, made plans. It was pretty solid.
So, John, obviously you liked her chatty style. What about her fashion style?
Well, I mean, when I picked her up, she had on like a shirt that cut off like above the belly button, and it was so nice to see a stomach because Heather never shows her stomach because it's kind of goes over, and like she had like the smallest waist. She was just beautiful, and Heather's clothes are like. They're so loud, like she does it just to get attention.
Like a couple days ago you say, that, I like that you dress sophisticated. I didn't know you like
trashy. It's not sophisticated,
trashy,
like when you're all like...
There's a way of being sexy but classy.
And it's not spandex, so...
John, I understand, besides the fashion thing here, that the first place that you stopped for the date was an amusement park.
Yeah.
And we actually have some pictures here, so let's take a look at you guys at the park. There it is. You look very comfortable and cozy. And John, what's going through your head here?
Well, I just couldn't keep my hands off her. She was
Obviously.
She was fine. It was so nice to be with someone that was like easygoing. Like Heather's just kind of out there.
Heather's completely easygoing.
Now, John, you told us this was the first time that you were ever out with an older woman. Any other firsts on this date for you?
Yeah, she took me to this like lingerie shop, and they had all these.
Oh, that's so classy.
They had all these like. It was like they had all these graphic things there that I mean, it was like you have to check
honey,
it
that's
out.
why he's on the show.
Actually, I brought ham, so that's another story.
Now, Allison, would you say this is an appropriate time now to maybe give what you brought in the bag?
I think so.
Okay, let's take a look and see what you got. Since we brought up the subject.
First, I got him some handcuffs.
And not just any old handcuffs, but fur-lined handcuffs, yes.
And then some emotion lotion, and that's for us to use later.
That's a nice present. And Heather, do you think John's going to put those to good use?
To good use? No.
No.
Maybe to use. But
Okay. So, John, while you're hanging out at this lingerie store, did you get any ideas going through the head?
Yeah, I wanted to get her alone, so I took her for a drive up the beach.
And Allison, did you have any idea what John might have been thinking at this point?
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. We were getting pretty close, and when we walked up to the lifeguard station, I had forgotten my jacket, so he opened up his legs and put his arms around me and kind of let me cuddle inside so I could stay warm.
Nice. And John, what were you feeling at this point?
I wanted to kiss her, but like the sun was, or like the water was coming up, and it didn't seem like the right time. So I wanted to take her to my club and show her off to my friends.
Yeah. Now, John, we know your friends called Heather the old ball and chain. What'd they think of Allison?
Dude, they thought she was hot. Like all my friends thought they were hot. They were like, "You need to take her home."
because that's the type of person you take home on a first date.
Now, John, you just said you wanted to kiss her at the beach. What about at the club later? Did anything happen there?
Yeah, well, we were like cuddling up. I got us a private booth, and Heather kept calling my cell phone. And it kind of killed like everything. She was like, "Who's that? Your girlfriend?" And I was like, "Actually, it is."
Or her mom, or his mom, because
Yeah.
only moms call that.
Right. And now, Allison, after all these cell phone calls that he got, did you actually call the date to an end then?
Yeah, it was getting really late, and I live with my parents, so we came to my house, and he walked me to the door, and we kind of said our goodbyes, and then we promised we'd see each other later because he said that he was going to have my birthday party at his club.
Now, John, I got to ask you though, after hearing about Heather's date, do you kind of regret that you didn't get a kiss from Allison?
Yeah, actually, I totally would have, knowing, like, I just knew that I was in a relationship, so I decided to take the high road, but I knew we were both really into each other, and I knew that it was there, and so I just figured, if it didn't work out on the show, I'd do it at a later date.
Yeah! Okay, we'll see if that happens, because coming up next, will someone be getting kissed off? Stay tuned to find out. John and Heather, now they both say they needed a break from fighting, so let's find out if their fight-free dates will be enough to give either of them a change of heart. John, we're going to get your decision first. You guys have been together for like a year now, but it's been tough lately, so we wanted to send you out on a date. We sent you out with Allison. You guys had a really good time. You did cuddling, flirting. She brought you some nice toys and presents here. What do you say?
Well, Allison was a good date, but, she's a little older, probably into, like, different stuff. Heather's like, we've been together for a long time. I have a lot invested, and she makes me laugh, and I make her laugh, I guess. But, I only need one mom, and she did kiss the guy with the green jeans, so I'm gonna have to change that.
Change your heart. All right, Allison, does that work for you?
That works for me. Definitely.
You're okay with that?
Yes.
All right, Heather, John obviously had a change of heart. We sent you out with Chris. He was goofy, he was fun, he was romantic, he was a lot different. He met Dad, and Dad liked him, and you guys made out on the couch. What do you say?
We started out doing this show, and it was just all in good fun, and I thought that we had a strong enough relationship to handle it, to go on and just have fun with it, but it turned out that the show had a really big impact on our relationship, and I didn't know that it was on such shaky ground. So I'm gonna have a change of heart.
Change of heart. All right, Chris, that works for you? You're okay with that too?
Oh yeah.
All right, obviously, John, Heather, a year is probably more than enough for both of you, it seems, obviously. So good luck with the new relationship that you have started here on the show. That is our show for today. Good luck to Heather and Chris, also to John and Allison, and we'll see you next time on Change of Heart.
It seemed like we're batting 1,000 on this show.
And there's a lot of passion on our date.
He wants to hang out tonight. Like he said, since we can't hang out before the show, we'll hang out, after.
Even John and Allison seemed to really hit it off.
I would definitely go out with him again.
I wouldn't mind dating Allison at all.
But we ended up striking out when everyone went home alone.